In this module, we are going to create the same code application with the help of MVVM. So let's start our work. Right now you can see that we have all the files inside our Xamarin Forms project, and we need to sort out the things. So first of all, let's create a folder and name it models. Then put this code class inside this models folder, and if you will see any kind of namespace issue, then resolve it. Right after that, let's create a new folder and name it views. And now I'm going to put this code page inside this views folder. And then let's resolve the namespace. Similarly, let's create a new folder and name it View Models. Now our journey starts from here. We are going to implement the MVVM pattern inside our Xamarin Forms application. So let's start with the models. Inside the models folder, we have a code class and we don't need to change anything inside this class. Then jump towards the views folder. And there we have a codespace.xaml and codepage.xaml.cs. As you can see that we have written all the code inside this code behind file. But in case of MVVM, we need to put this code somewhere else, like view models. So what I'm gonna do is, I'll simply right click on the view models folder and create a new class and name it codes view model. And here we go. Now inside the view models, we mostly use iNotify property change. So let's do it. And then let's implement the interface here. Well, that's cool. But what if we have more than one view model? For example, if you have 2 or 3 view model, then you have to repeat the iNotify property change on all the view models. So instead of the repetition, let's make our code little bit cleaner. So what I'm gonna do is, I'll simply right click on the view model folder and then create a new class and name it base view model. And inside this base view model, I'm going to implement the iNotify property change. And here we go. Now in the future, if you want to implement the iNotify property change, then you just inherit your view model from this base view model class. Let's do it. So in the codes view model, let's get rid from this code and simply inherit this codes view model from the base view model class. Alright, let's close all the unnecessary files. Now if I go back to the codespace.xaml.cs, then you will see that we have this load codes method. Well, we need to create this method inside the codes view model. So let's cut this method and then shift towards the codes view model, and let's create a constructor of this view model and just put this method here. Similarly, let's return to the code behind file, and there you will see this load codes method implementation. All you need to do is just cut this method and then paste inside the codes view model. And here we go. Now we have to change few things here. Well, first of all, let's resolve the namespaces. And then you can see that this list view item source is not accessible inside the codes view model. And of course, we cannot access this list view inside the view model directly. So let's comment this code, and in this codes view model, we are not going to use the list view because list view is part of our XAML file. So inside this view model, what I'm gonna do is, I'll simply create a field observable collection of type quote. Well, quote is our model class. Then name this observable collection to quotes. Let me explain you what is observable collection. Well, an observable collection is the dynamic collection of objects of a given type. Objects can be added, removed or updated with an automatic notification of actions. When an object is added to or removed from an observable collection, the UI is automatically updated. Alright? Now we need to initialize this observable collection inside the constructor. So let's initialize it. As you remember that when we have created our application without MVVM, then we have used this ListViewItemSource property. But now we are using MVVM and our concern is with the observable collection. And in order to add things in the observable collection, we first need a for each loop for iteration. So let's use a snippet for each and hit tab. And it will create a for each loop for you. Well, that's awesome. Now we need to pass this quote inside the quotes observable collection. So let's use the quotes.add method and then pass this quote here. Now we need to bind this observable collection with our list view. So let's copy this observable collection and then switch towards the quote page.xaml. And there you will see a list view. Well, we don't need the name of this list view because we are not going to access it in the code behind. So let's get rid from this name. As you remember that when we have created our application without MVVM, then we have used the ListViewItemSource property in the code behind file. But right now I'm going to use the item source property of this list view inside the XAML file. And there I'm going to bind this with the quotes observable collection. And let me tell you one more time that this quotes is an observable collection that comes from this quotes view model. Alright. Now we need to map our view with the view model. And for this purpose, let's go to the code behind file of quotes page, and in the constructor of this page, I'm going to set the binding context equals new quotes view model. Before executing this application, make sure to make this quotes page as a root page. And if you will see any error, then it's because the quote page is inside the views folder and you will need to import the namespace here. Alright, now it's time to run this application. So I'm going to run this on the device. And here you will see that our application is running, and soon it will get all the codes from the web API and display inside the list view. Alright, that's awesome. In order to move forward, let me repeat the steps. Well, we have created our models and put the quote class inside the models folder. Then we have created our views folder and put the quote page inside it. Right after that, we have created our view models folder, and then we have added quote view model and derived this class from the base view model that implements iNotify property change. And we have written all the logic of our API inside the quotes view model. Then we have bind this observable collection with the item source property of the list view. And in the text cell, you will see that we have already binded the text and detail of the text cell with the quotes title and quotes description property. And these properties comes from the model class. And the last step was we have set the binding context in the code behind file. Now we have created this code application with the help of MVVM. But right now this code is not 100% loosely coupled, and we need to perform some additional steps to make this code 100% maintainable and reusable. So I will catch you guys in the next module.